A novel species of anomalous entity has recently been found living in the bowels of the underbelly. This creature, hereby known as the Corpse King, is a compound organism made up of multiple different human beings and a larva-like entity. However, the true Corpse King is not actually the combination of human bodies you see before you, but instead a massive parasite lurking within the unholy chimera's bowels. The underbelly is a liminal space dimension consisting of subterranean structures like catacombs, sewers, and subways that people can find themselves trapped in by exploring a bit too deeply underground and getting lost. While most don't notice that they've left Earth right away, they begin to understand the gravity of their situation when they find out the side effects of tapeworms down here. This creature starts as many life forms do. The noble egg. This egg hatches after a few days, and the worms proceed with their first stage of life, the aquatic stage. In this stage, the worms live in the water and feed on detritus, waste products, and other small life forms in the underbelly, until it grows from microscopic to a few centimeters long. From here, the parasite stops eating and waits for a human wanderer to enter the water. Upon detection of a human being, the Corpse King will rapidly swim towards the person and attempt to enter through any orifice or open wound submerged in the water. Because the person isn't usually in the shit water on purpose, these entrances are typically below the waist, so they often enter up through the poo or pee holes.
Nature is just so beautiful sometimes. I mean, not right now. This makes me think we should upgrade and start putting macroplastics in the ocean. But I don't know, man. Eat some sticks.
In the second stage of the Corpse King life cycle, it acts like an especially fearsome tapeworm. After the parasite enters the host, it will attach itself to the outer lining of the intestine and begin leaching nutrients from any pre-digested food that the wanderer consumes, as well as the host itself. It will continue to feed and grow until it's around 3 feet in length. At this point, the victim has a noticeable distended potbelly that squirms in an unnerving fashion. The host doesn't seem to mind this though, nor do they any of the grotesque gastrointestinal symptoms related with the parasite, as the worm releases hormones that tell the human brain that it is in utter bliss. And it loves the fact that it always has diarrhea. This psychological hold is so severe that humans have even been recorded expressing affection towards the worm and protecting it from harm.
I mean, it was cool when you were just into worms, but now I feel like it's your whole personality.
Oh, I see the problem. You misunderstand. The worms are working their way into me.
After the worm cements its psychological hold over the host, the parasite will again cease feeding and growing momentarily, while it manipulates its host to seek out another wanderer. The Corpse King can't reach the final stage of its life cycle until it finds one more person. When it finally does cross paths with an unlucky individual, the worm springs from the original host's mouth and latches onto the face of the second person. It burrows into the eye and targets the brainstem. Within a matter of minutes, the second host is completely paralyzed, but still alive. After this, the worm exits the second host and slithers back into the original. They drag off the corpse of the second victim into a dark, damp place. At this point, the host lays on top of the dead body, and the worm exits the shell of a person. It produces a thick, stringy silk, not cum, that it uses to encompass both itself and the two corpses. It will remain in this cocoon for 1 month, until they emerge as a full-grown Corpse King.
They grow up so fast.
A fully grown Corpse King adult is the unholy amalgamation of 3 beings. The new form keeps much of the external anatomy of the two people the same, with some key differing features. For one, the new chest cavities have burst in several places, where the intestines of the creature leak out. The parasite is so large that it pushes the internal organs out of the body to make room for itself. These intestines are part of the worm itself, as they fused during the metamorphosis. Pro tip, if you need to kill it, stab the wiggly bits. Much of its biomass has been reallocated to the support torso. As you can see, its fingers and toes are much hardier than that of a traditional Homo sapien. And if you see its arms and legs, they definitely deserve a goddamn.
Where's the drawing from the back?
The creature took most of this biomass from the top torso during its metamorphosis, and has modified what remained of it into a contorted set of armed jaws. At the top of these jaws lies the skulls of both amalgamated individuals. As an adult, the Corpse King acts as a scavenger and predator to many life forms in the underbelly. Most of the horrific things about this monster are how it gets to become a monster, not what it actually does after. At this stage, it's really no different than a bipedal lion or a land shark, just a big old predator, like Jared. This era of its life is the reproductive stage, and it will consume biomass to be converted into eggs. It will continue to do this until it dies, whether that be by starvation, gunshot, or AIDS because it's in the sewer. And they all lived happily ever after, unless they were one of those 2 people who got amalgamated, or literally anyone else but the worm. The end. Anyways, if you like this video and want to see more of what goes on in the underbelly, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with all notifications enabled, or I'll throw you in the sewer. I want to thank Dead Rex for drawing these spooky critters. Shout out the Inner Circle. Love y'all.